All right, so our reporter Tebogo Phakedi has been following the story, of course, for us. Let's cross now live to her in the Northwest. A very good afternoon to you, Tebogo. All right, so let's talk about the conference then today. Today, of course, it's expected to wrap up. We've heard from the party leader, Julius Malema. We just played a clip there just a short while ago addressing delegates in the Northwest. He speaks about Marikana quite a lot. Of course, obviously a big talking point in the province, but also, interestingly, raising the issue of the Pala farm quite a lot there, as we heard in the clip that we just played. Talk to us then about what really is being said at the conference today, and obviously everything that's been going on.
Good afternoon, Flo, and of course to the viewers. Yes, as you have stated there, that the leader of the Economic Freedom Fighters, Julius Malema, has addressed the delegates here attending the EFF's Northwest 3rd Provincial People's Assembly. And of course, he really did touch on different subjects, Marikana, Pala, and of course the EFF delegates' duty to ensure that they serve with the mandate of the EFF. I can tell you that currently what is going on, they are on the last item, that is the nomination of additional members. That is 20 additional members that will be voted for after these nominations. Malema's closing address, of course, was given first preference, as we were told that he has some engagements. They are currently on that last item, which is nominating additional members. But I can tell you, Flo, that the conference, of course, this Provincial People's Assembly, this is the last day of the assembly, and we saw just last night delegates nominating and electing the top 5 of the EFF, 5 officials of the EFF here in the province, and the chairperson there emerging being Matsidiso Shakes Boots. This is the returning chairperson. He has been the chairperson of the province. He was re-elected, and of course the deputy there being Primrose Bukhatsu. We see Papiki Babuile really being elected as the secretary of the province, and this is the 3rd time in the row since the inception of the EFF. He has been the secretary of the EFF in the province, and his deputy being Justice Dabambe, and that is also one of the new faces, the treasury being Kilebukhile Kirileng. Those are 5 officials of the EFF here in the province whom Malema did commend for doing a great job as far as the EFF is concerned in the province. Those that was the outgoing committee, of course, and giving the newly elected committee the mandate of making sure that the EFF wins the Northwest province as far as 2024 is concerned. And he also commended the Dr. Ruth Sekhomisi Mumpati region for meeting the target of the EFF's campaign, that is the 1 million membership campaign, saying the region is the first in the country to reach that target. And of course, quite interesting knowing that Bojanala region here in Northwest, that is the Rustenburg side, is actually the biggest region of the EFF. Malema was saying there that they were anticipating that this campaign will first be those that will succeed first will be in that Bojanala region. But there's been different things discussed here, the Provincial People's Assembly, the reports of the EFF being unpacked, and of course we saw Sheikh Sibutwe saying there that as the EFF, they've actually been doing good as far as we talk about holding the provincial government accountable, as he was referring to the performance of municipalities, and other meant that they will continue with the same spirit flow.
Yeah. You know, when electing, very interestingly, we've seen, of course, with the ANC, where there's been divisions when it comes to electing top officials in the different provinces. Would you say that this was smooth running for the EFF, that there was a really far and wide agreement when it comes to who they are electing as their leaders in the province? Was there anything that might have been a red flag for you as you watched these proceedings throughout this weekend?
Definitely, Flo. Actually, Malema did touch on that, saying that contestation should not be interpreted as enmity, as delegates really being against each other, saying that the politics of slates should end here. The People's Provincial Assembly, you would know that there were two slates with Shakes Butwe slates there being Shakes Butwe, Primrose Bukhatsu, Papiki, Babuile and the others. And of course there was Mutusi Muntwedi slate, which of course consisted of people like Temba Sonakile, Sten Mukompe, amongst others. And of course you would know that this is the nature of conferences, and like you said, when comparing to conferences of other parties, you get to see, for an example, just 3 weeks back when the ANC held their own, we saw some of the members taking the then IPC to court. You know, so many people having actually complaints as far as how the conference was run. But with the EFF here, there's been the third provincial People's Assembly. That is not the case at all. Really, what happened was just the nature of these conferences or assembly in the case of the EFF, where many people, of course, would have interest of being in the leadership flow. But as Malema was saying, that when they leave this Matlosana City Hall here in Klerksdorp, they should have one mandate, that is to serve the people of the Northwest and to make sure that they recruit particularly young people who would then be trained to be given political education come 2024, as he says. Those will be the EFF's food soldiers. But you are right, Flo, the mood at this moment is of celebratory, as they are now all standing with the elected top 5 officials of this province, Flo.
All right, thanks very much to you, Tebogo Phakedi, who is in the Northwest for us, has been covering EFF's conference throughout the weekend.